You are listening to the Gamer's Guide to the Universe podcast, episode number 2. Hey, Loren, where do astronauts go to hang out?
I don't know.
The space bar?
Okay, that was good. I like it.
That's why I told you I couldn't tell you the answer till after I did the joke.
Well, it's been bothering me for 2 days.
I'm sorry that your internet died yesterday.
I should have just Googled it.
Well, there is that, because I may be stealing these from a Reddit forum.
I kind of figured, but I should have just Googled it. Why did I not think of this? Oh, well. That's good, though. I like it, the spacebar.
Come back often and feel free to give the podcast a thumbs up, share, and subscribe for updates on new releases. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at GG2Universe. That is at GG2Universe. All links are also provided in the show notes below because not like you're going to remember what we just said. Now let's get into the show. Hey, Loren, what you been playing?
Oh, okay. Well, this is kind of a travesty, but I've been playing nothing.
Yeah, because you lame.
I know, but work, and I don't even know. I don't even work that much. Why am I trying to blame this on work?
But you weren't sleeping, so that may be part of it.
That's true. I was like...
you're like waking up and going to work and then coming home and going to bed.
Well, not really.
I know.
I think I have insomnia. Well, maybe not. But kind of.
No, it sounds like
maybe.
You really do.
Because
You're not sleeping,
right.
And it's actually a consistent thing.
Yeah, it's every night. Last night, I sat there, and I did not go to bed. It was almost 7 o'clock this morning when I went to bed.
I was at work.
I should have just messaged you, because...
Wait, no. Well, no, wait.
Well, no,
7 o'clock your time?
That is, 2 o'clock, or... Hold on, math. 1 o'clock your time? 1 a.m.? Yeah.
7 minus 6 is 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1 a.m. I was sleeping.
Remember, I wanted to be an engineer at one time. And I can't even do basic math, apparently.
They use calculators. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, but anyway, so I haven't been playing anything, which is just depressing, because sleep and work and not sleep. Anyways, but I have been watching a ton of Twitch, if that helps. So that's gaming related.
I have a hard time getting into Twitch. I like the concept of Twitch, because I love watching Let's Play with me's, because I didn't have a computer that could play computer games, and I'm not a console gamer. So, I really got into, YouTube for, the Let's Plays. So you would think that I would really like Twitch, but I think it's because YouTube, I can watch it whenever, and
right.
People do Twitch on a schedule, and then because, I'm a little obsessive, that I feel like you have to start watching the Twitch stream right when it first starts. You can't just, join in the middle, because then you miss stuff.
Well, I
know that's not how it works.
Right, I jump in and out. To be honest, we actually got rid of cable, and the only thing I ever watch is Twitch or, the occasional Netflix session.
I don't have cable either.
Yeah, screw cable.
Not on purpose.
Screw cable. It's a ripoff.
It's part of our HOA, so I technically have it, but I don't use it.
Yeah, it's a ripoff. It's stupid. Can't justify paying it. I mean, internet costs more than enough money.
Internet's so cheap here, I cannot relate.
That's crazy. We pay 70 something a month for internet. Which,
so
it's not bad.
Internet anymore because it's part of the HOA, but I can look it up. It's not expensive at all. I think it was $50 for 200 Mbps.
Yeah, see, ours is 70. It's 70. I think it's 76 a month, and we only get we're supposed to get a 50 download, 50 megabits per second, but we usually get 38. Or last night we got a 0.08, and this is why I couldn't record. It was terrible. I was so mad. 0.08, what are you supposed to do with that? Well, anyway, so back to Twitch. I figured since I haven't been playing anything, I would just kind of talk about some of the people I've been watching on Twitch, give a little shout out. The first one, this is the biggest one I watch. Well, not the biggest, as in the biggest streamer, but, I watch him the most. It's Kismet_Ring of Destiny. He's my dude. Kismet is my dude. I'm actually a mod in his chat. I've been watching him for, I think, a year and 7 months, back when he only had, 10 viewers a night. Now he pulls, 150 to 200, sometimes 300 viewers a night. He's currently an affiliate with Twitch, and is pushing for a partnership. He's actually been denied for partnership like 5 times, and I cannot figure out why. He's a great streamer. He just like, I don't know, he interacts with chat and does all kinds of cool stuff, and he has great gameplays, awesome graphics. If you're into like Fallout 4 and 7 Days to Die, he plays those 2 games religiously. Be sure to check him out. He's pretty awesome.
So you watch Kismet
Yep.
on Twitch. How many people does he regularly have watching?
Anywhere between like 130 to 200, sometimes 300, depending on the night.
Okay.
But
he's applied for a partner.
Yeah, he's applied like 4 times and has been denied every single time. It's really stupid. He's got.
Is it because his views are what I'm assuming is low? Because again, I'm a YouTuber over a Twitcher.
No. He
I don't know what people normally bring in. I don't know what's like considered a like.
They usually for a partnership they usually want you to consistently have about 100 viewers.
And so he's hitting that.
He's going way above it, and he has been for a good like 5 months or so now.
Is he vulgar?
No, he's got the cleanest stream I've ever seen. He allows no cursing in his chat. He doesn't curse. He's got I don't know, he's got like good values and stuff as a streamer. He's very family friendly. But he's got his application out there right now for a partnership, so hopefully this is it. Because when they just did they redid the thing for the affiliates, he was one of them that got his sub button as an affiliate. It works a little differently for affiliates than it does for partners, but nonetheless, he has a sub button. I was his very first sub, and he has like, I think he's got like 130 subs, somewhere around there. Like there's partner streamers that don't have that many subs.
Yeah, the one guy I was watching on Twitch who I don't watch anymore, his subs jumped really quick. I don't know if they've maintained. But
yeah. But anyways, like I said, Kismet is awesome. There's a couple others I watch. PwnStars.com. I've been watching him for like
oh my.
I've been watching him for like 3 years. He used to play like only Call of Duty, but since Call of Duty sucked for the past couple years, he has started to play a few different games, and he used to pull in thousands of viewers, and ever since Call of Duty has gone downhill, his viewership's dropped big time, and now he struggles to pull 100 viewers, and it's really sad because he does have a cool channel. He's an awesome dude. I also sub to him, and he plays, like I said, Call of Duty when it's good, but he usually right now plays Overwatch. He plays a little bit of Doom, and he also plays PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, which that game looks awesome. I'll talk about that a little bit later.
I don't know what that is.
I'll talk about it later. It's pretty cool looking. I want it.
How do you find out how many subs somebody has?
You can't. It's technically they're not supposed to tell you, because then you can find out how much they're making. Yeah.
Okay.
I just know because, like I said, I'm a mod in Kismet's chat and we talk on the regular.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out if like the dude that I was watching for a little bit was able to maintain coming through.
But yeah, pretty much Pwn plays anything with a gun. He's a beast. Let's see, I also watch a guy named Banlish. He's an older dude. He's not really that old, actually. He just looks older. He's got a beard. Not that a beard makes you look old, but I don't know. He's cool. He's funny. He's super funny. He plays 7 Days to Die. He's partnered, and if you hit him with a pun in the chat, he just loves those. He loves puns. The Haley baby, she's like the only female streamer I can stand to watch. She there's a lot of female streamers out there that they just get on camera and show their boobs pretty much.
Yep.
Like,
and it's weird.
Yeah, like low cut shirts. Like you don't need to put your boobs, sorry. And she's partnered. She's actually a kind of a bigger streamer. A lot of people know who she is, but she plays a ton of different games and does like IRL streams. And she also has a cute little dachshund named Morty.
How does an IRL stream work?
The other day, she was in her kitchen baking banana bread. And, yeah, and just, I don't know, she's funny, so people were watching. And you guys are pervs, so they just like to watch a girl walk around her kitchen, apparently.
Well, yeah, you're always going to have that in any capacity of a female streamer.
Yeah, but she's cool.
Or YouTuber.
And lastly, this past week I've been watching LP Association. I think they just made their Twitch account with the whole Chester thing when that happened.
Oh.
But they're connected to the Twitter account and website with the same name, LP Association. But the past 2 weeks they popped on to live stream just different Linkin Park like videos. Like last week they played the Live in Texas DVD, and there was a ton of people in there just chatting about Linkin Park and watching them. So, I was all up in that. But that is pretty much all I've been doing. Like I said, I don't sleep apparently anymore, so I haven't played games and just watched Twitch, which is awesome.
Yeah, but if you're not able to sleep, you should also be like really hitting up the mobile game market.
Yeah, I don't know. I get addicted to them, and then like I just like one day I'll be like, screw this game, and then just don't play it anymore.
I don't. Let me check. Let me swipe over to that screen. I currently have no games on my phone that I have been playing.
I haven't played a mobile game in forever.
Well, that's not true. I downloaded this one, and it's not really a game. I kept seeing these YouTube videos for it. It's called Hooked, and it's this chat.
Oh my gosh, yes,
story
I've seen that.
where like they dramatically read it. They're like, "Do you hear that?
Right.
Hear what? There's a baby crying. I'm not home. Wait until I get back. It's coming from the basement." And then you click next, and it says tap to view image. You then have to buy a subscription to the game or whatever they call this app, and it's 7 days free, and then it's just $2.99 a week or a month for $8 or a year for $40. So you don't get to see the images, and then like you can only see like the text. I want to know what's going on. You're so stubborn, just like your father. Where are you now, Tiffany? And it just keeps going like that. Like it's kind of interesting. So that's all you've been watching?
Oh yeah, I haven't been playing anything. See, I can't even think straight nowadays. Yep. Anyways, that's all I've been watching. Not playing anything.
That's what sleep deprivation will do to you.
Yeah. Well, see, and the thing, I had a Red Bull, so just kidding. That's why I'm probably not tired at all.
It's not healthy. That's okay though.
I know. I'm
sorry.
Won't
judge you.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know why I drank the Red Bull. To be honest, I was so bored at work. I was like, I'm gonna get a Red Bull.
Oh. I have never had an energy drink.
Every once in the blue moon, I drink one.
They smell awful to me.
I like them.
Oh, this looks so cute. It's called Tiny Sheep. It's a virtual pet game.
Oh.
You get to raise a tiny sheep in your pocket.
Oh, I like sheep. Oh my gosh.
Install.
So, what have you been playing?
Well, apparently Tiny Sheep, virtual pet game.
And now I gotta look it up.
Apparently that. I also downloaded something called Dragon Keepers or something like that. My background's kind of like making it hard to see the name. They were on the home screen of the Play Store. So, I've been playing WoW and Stardew Valley, but mostly Stardew Valley. I know, right? I always play a little bit of WoW. I haven't been going as hard as I was. I think part of it is I'm a little bored with the current expansion pack. We're between patches, and I've done the content up that I'm interested in up to this point. I really enjoy the questing aspect, and I've done the raid and finished that. I haven't done it on heroic or mythic, but that's not necessarily what's important to me, so it's not like at the top of my list or whatever.
Right.
So on my main, I'm pretty much done with until 7.3 releases, which I'll talk about
or until I get the game. Well, I have the game until I get my PC. Well, I don't have the game. I only have the first whatever.
You have the trial, but when you buy the game, it's $60.
Right.
And depending on where you are, like, because I know that you're still in school, so finances are a little bit different for you. I might tell you to hold off, especially if you haven't purchased by BlizzCon, which I want to say is in October, because they might be releasing the new expansion in 2018.
Gotcha.
So, like, because I don't want you to, like, go drop, like, $40 to $60 on Legion when you could drop the $40 to $60 on whatever the 8.0 expansion is, because we're in the 7s right now, so the next one will be 8s for the patches.
November 3rd.
Is BlizzCon?
Yes.
People boosted my druid, which I think I mentioned last week, and I may not have, but I
can't remember.
Boosted her. I think I talked about I was going to, or I wanted to, or something, but I wasn't sure if I would. But I did boost her, and I've been leveling her very slowly and very poorly through these things that are called invasions, which are just these like random events that happen about every 12 hours or so in the Broken Shores, which is where the current expansion pack is set. And it's almost literally like the invasion of the Legion, the bad guys that we're fighting, going to this one zone in the world that we're currently in. Whatever. I think it's a world, because it's within Azeroth, which is a world, so like zones or whatever. And the invasions are just a play on the world quests, which are these things that happen all over the area that the current expansion is, and they're just like random menial tasks where you go, and in this case, because they're invasion world quests, you kill some Legion baddies and get items related to the game, like currency, gear, or whatever. Because my character is not the max level, I don't get any of that. I get like junk items to sell, like they're literally junk, like that's all they're meant to, is to be vendor trash.
Okay.
I get some of that stuff, but not a whole lot. What I'm getting is a crap ton of experience.
Experience is good.
Get a drop for what's called artifact power, which is for our artifact weapons, which we're gonna have to get rid of here soon. So you basically can get an entire level with a couple heirlooms, which are just special fancy gear you can wear in the world to get extra XP or bonuses or whatever while leveling. So I'm able to get about a level each time one of these invasions happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so I enjoy questing and I enjoy doing quests. But there is something about having to redo all of this Legion stuff right now that is just like so off-putting to me that I like refuse to quest. I've done 2 quests.
Wow.
The rest of it has been these invasions, and I'm 106 already.
That's crazy.
I could be already to 110, but because I'm back to work now, I'm seeing some of the invasions because I'm at work. I'm at 106, but the real reason that I boosted my druid was I wanted to see the druid class hall, because part of druid or druidic, I don't know, druid lore is the Emerald Dream, which is just like this really pretty place that like they would like potentially get to visit or something. Like I haven't played WoW long enough to like know specifics about everybody's class lore, but like while I've been playing, I've heard this reference over and over again about the Emerald Dream, and then there's this, I think a dungeon that's the Emerald Nightmare. So like I was really interested to see the class hall, because you can fly near it as any other class, but it's, if you get too close, the game like takes you, and it says like the Emerald Dream takes you, actually is what I think it says, and then like you get stunned and teleported out because you're not supposed to be there because you're not a druid.
Gotcha.
So anyway, I go there and it's really, really pretty and it's kind of cool, but there's nobody there. Like when I go to my Paladin class hall, there's like, what feels like anyway, a bunch of life there, because there's a lot of NPCs in the Paladin class hall and even the Demon Hunter class hall, which are the 2 other max level tunes I have. But I go into my druid class hall and it's just like green pastures everywhere. Like it's really pretty and it's got like houses and stuff, but there's like not a lot as many NPCs currently. I'm sure that'll change as I unlock stuff.
Right.
But there's still not a lot of players. Like in the Demon Hunter, there's a ton of players because everybody has a Demon Hunter because it's the newest class that you can play. And then Paladins, I don't know why there's so many Paladins. Like we got nerfed into oblivion and nobody likes us anymore, so I don't know. But I was a little bit disappointed with it. It just doesn't feel like there's as much life. And I don't know if it's just because of the way it's spread out, or if there are less NPCs, or there are less people playing druids like that or whatever. The other game I've been playing a lot, I think I mentioned last week as well, which is Stardew Valley.
Yes, you did.
I have two save files now. I have the Joja Cola file, and then I have the Community Center save file, because you cannot 100% the game anyway, because you can only have one or the other achievement. You can only have the Joja achievement, or you can only have the Community Center achievement. That's basically how you, like, quote-unquote save the town.
Okay.
You either, like, sell your soul to a corporation, or you do it the other way where you, like, craft things and harvest things and collect things and etc. etc. I like the game because it's super chill and I don't have to deal with people like real life people. But I did download a few mods recently. It has a huge modding community. Like, you can download mods to, like, never have to do anything in the game ever.
Oh my gosh.
To the point where, like, you just open a menu and, like, click the item that you need to harvest, or click the item that you need to craft, or whatever it is you need, and it auto spawns it. That's taking a little bit too much fun out of the game for me. I know why some people do use it for, like, because you can design, like, use your farm area to actually design the area or whatever. But there's a couple expansion mods that people have made that add on to the game entirely. Some people have made a multiplayer mod. It's called,
nice.
Like, yeah, it's called Makeshift Multiplayer, because there's only, like, there are some limitations to making the game multiplayer,
right?
Which is probably why the developer has not done so. But the ones that I installed are Fishing Overhaul. The fishing in Stardew Valley is not something that I like. I have never really liked it. It's fine when it's an easy to catch fish. So you cast your line into the water, and you have this meter that pops up on the screen when you catch a fish, and there's this green bar. And you have to keep the green bar over the fish icon that shows up on the meter. Think of this like a thermometer.
Okay.
And on the thermometer, the fish will rise or lower in temperature, so to speak. And you have to keep the green bar behind the fish as he rises and lowers.
Okay.
The easier the fish is to catch, the less the fish moves, which also means the harder the fish is to catch, the more it moves. So when your fishing skill is low, a lot of fish are hard to catch. So they literally will sometimes go from, like, the bottom of this thermometer shooting to the top and then right back down. And, like, when you hit the top of the meter or the bottom of the meter with your green bar thingy, it, like, lags for a second. It's intended to do so.
So
It's
they make
not
it
a
difficult.
glitch, so it just, like, makes it that much more difficult. I don't like the fishing in the game that much.
Okay.
So that just irritates me. So I get really frustrated with it. So I downloaded Fishing Overhaul because it doesn't break fishing, but it doesn't keep it the way it is now. So it supposedly makes fishing 15% easier overall, and it makes it impossible to catch the highest quality of fish without a perfect catch. So in that regard, it does make it harder. You used to be able to, or in the base game anyway, you can catch a perfect fish, or a gold starfish anyway, kind of randomly. I'm not really sure what the qualifications are, but now with this mod, you have to have a perfect catch, which means the fish never leaves the green bar that you're given the entire time that the timer's counting down.
Gotcha.
That's what a perfect catch is. And there's a few other things, but I'm not that far, so I don't really know what they are. I've only fished a couple times because it's still not something I love. Like, there's something about, like, the fish not knowing you're there, so it makes them a little easier to catch. I don't know what that's about, though. I also have Gift Taste Helper, which gives you, oh my goodness. So when you open your address book, so to speak, there's a list of all the people you've met in the game so far, the little townies or whatever.
Okay.
And you can hover over their name or their face, or on the calendar you can hover over them, and it'll give you a box of all the items that they love. So you can give them the items that they love to help boost their friendship level a little bit faster.
I gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
Without that mod, you have to figure it out yourself.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Or Google it.
Yeah.
And go back and forth between the game window, or, like, putz with it on your phone or whatever. I don't enjoy social aspects like this in these kind of games.
I don't blame you.
Where it's that annoying, in my opinion, social, where if you choose not to play the social aspect of the game, you miss out on a chunk of the game, so you're required. And it's one of those, you have to give gifts, and then, like, your relationships decay if you don't talk to them or gift them frequently enough. And, like, that kind of annoys me, because that's...
Cause it's just something else you have to keep up on.
It becomes tedious, and that's not how friendships work in the real world. Not for me, anyway. Like,
right.
You and I, when I was in college, because, I don't know, you're a better friend than I am. Like, I would fall off the face of the planet and only talk to you when I would come home for Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. But we still stayed. Yeah. We still stayed, like, close. Like.
Well, I guess that's not even true. Like, we've just recently been rebuilding, in quotation marks, our friendship.
That's true. I mean...
Because when you moved out of Cooper, we didn't really talk.
Every once in a blue moon. But, I mean, it was harder to talk back then, too. Like, technology has really helped keep in touch.
It has.
I don't know, like, what we would do without technology, to be honest.
Like, I know we reconnected on Facebook, which that was awesome.
Right.
But, like, I think because we... didn't really, like, put the effort into, like, reaching out to each other.
Well...
Because I think we both were under the same impression that, like, oh, we haven't talked in X number of years kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. And then, I was with... Yeah, so I'm glad we have rekindled this fire.
This is why my dad thought we were.
Yes. Yes. Love it.
With each other.
Yes. I mean, we did spend we spent the night at each other's house, like, every night.
Single weekend in the summer.
Yeah, and almost.
I think I was
even
mad
during
at
the
you
week.
For moving.
I'm sorry, it wasn't my fault. We got evicted.
Well, no, I think I know that it wasn't your fault. Like, cause but I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why we moved too. My parents got.
But if anybody has any questions or comments about any of the games or I guess I talked about Twitch streamers, so any of the Twitch streamers I was talking about. Or even if you have questions about, or if you have any suggestions of games that we should play, just let us know. You can send us an email, contact us on our social media, or leave a comment down below. All links are going to be down in the description, of course. And let's see, Michelle, do you have any news on any of your games or anything like that this week?
I do, and I feel like I'm talking way too much. So I want to try and, I do have quite a bit, but
that's
I'm
okay.
Gonna try and not talk as much, I guess. I don't know how that'll work.
I gotcha.
So I have a little bit for WoW hot fixes. I kind of figured out, I cut this out of last week's episode, so nobody heard any of the hot fix news. I figured out how I wanted to do this, though.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to, there are more hot fixes than what I'm going to cover, but I'm not going to cover the tiny little bit, this class got this spell fixed,
right.
And it actually works in this one situation. Because that doesn't pertain to the majority of people that are even playing WoW, and not everyone listening to this podcast plays WoW to begin with.
Right, and if they want to look it up, we'll link it down in the description, so they can always click the link and check it out.
We'll link the hotfix newses. We'll link all the newses. The newses.
Do we even English, bruh?
No, bruh. So... I will probably talk about my class-related hotfixes if they're anything exciting, at least to me. Just because, I do talk about my paladin, that is my main.
Right.
So, there should be a 7.3 hotfix or a 7.3 patch release for the paladin. That'll probably be, hopefully, pretty good. It just kind of depends once it's released. I won't know until 7.3 actually drops, so.
Okay.
Anyway. August 1st hotfixes for World of Warcraft include Tomb of Sargeras Harjatan. Drenching waters created by Razor Jaw Wavemenders and Drippy Tadpoles should no longer apply stacks of drenched after the fight has finished, or as my illiterate self wrote, the Frenched. So what happens is you're fighting this guy named Harjatan. He's I don't know how to explain him. He's like a big bulldog, but he's not a bulldog. He just looks like one. And... he has these little, things they're called murlocs, and they jump on you, and there's also these, other things, and they drop this thing on the ground, and it gives you, this stack of drenched. It's not a big deal, but it's just annoying if the fight's over and you're, losing health because of it, so... So it's nice that they fixed it. I haven't personally experienced it, so that's the thing. There's also shadowy reigns of the accursed Wrathsteed can no longer be traded to other party members, which that's depressing. So if you get this drop multiple times, you are now stuck with that drop, and you can't share the love with your friends. So the shadowy reigns of the accursed Wrathsteed, Loren, is a mount in the game, and it is a pretty BA mount. It's kind of a undead looking horse,
Ooh.
and it's completely plated in armor, and it has horns, and it's kind of cool looking. Like, here, I'll send you a picture. I'm not very good at describing things, but it's just like this purpley, beautiful, but like kind of scary looking. I sent it to you on Messenger.
I got it.
It's just an awesome looking horse mount that's like great for people that play like mage or warlock. Like, it would be a good match for them.
It's a glowing horse. It looks like it's got a skull head
demon.
Almost.
Yeah, it's got the armor where it's got horns, and then it's
it's got like horns like a ram, maybe, kind of, sort of.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It teaches you how to summon that. So, yeah, I think it's really cool. So I'm kind of sad that people can't share the drop anymore, but that's pretty typical. Mounts, toys, and stuff like that can't be shared. So that's all the hotfix news I have. It's been a while since we've had a patch update, so we are due for one soon, and I will talk about that in just a bit after I pull it back up because I lost it. That's fine.
Oh no.
It's not hard to grab. Let me just set down my drink so I don't spill it. Alright, so WoW PTR news, that is the public test realm. Right now we still have 7.3 being tested out over there. There's a super awesome looking mount and battle pet that were announced, and I believe that the battle pet and possibly the mount are currently up to purchase on the Blizzard store. And this is how this is important to notice, this is how you do microtransactions in a game. The Mount Luminous Starseeker is a purple, blue, or yellow glowing cat-like creature called a Panthara, and it's new to I think we're going to Arthas. I forget the name of the world we're going to in 7.3, but that's okay. Hi,
hello,
Joey.
kitty.
A Panthara approaching a powerful energy source will visibly change color and become more excited. And there are a ton more mounts coming out in 7.3. This one's just really cool looking. I thought it was nice. The battle pet is very similar. It's Twilight the Kitten, and Twilight the Kitten is available on the store. It looks like I have an email in my inbox for it. And he or she is also a kitten that changes color depending on its mood. Looks like it will be available in the game shop, and it is. I got the email today. The Twilight Pet and Luminous Starseeker mount have journeyed to Azeroth and are ready to accompany you on your adventures. Recruit the color-shifting duo in your in-game collection with the special pet and mounts bundle. You can also gift these colorful companions to a friend so they can ride in style too. And I'll pull up how much that is real quick. $30 for both of them, but that's how you do a microtransaction right there.
Gotcha.
Like, it's a battle pet. Battle pet is not a main part of the game. It's a side part similar to Pokemon.
So it's not really a necessity, so if you don't buy it's not going to make or break you.
It's not at all a necessity. It's not at all a necessity.
That's good.
It doesn't even matter.
It's just if you want it, you want it.
Yeah. Gotcha. Exactly. Okay. And that's how you do a microtransaction, which will come up as important later. There's also some titles that are going to be available. These are just the ones that I thought kind of sounded cool. So we have Demon Slayer and the Lightbringer, but I didn't look how you got these at all because it is spoiler alert haven to figure out how you get these titles.
Right.
I don't want the spoiler, simply put. So the other part of WoW news that I wanted to talk about, which I think I have not talked about, and correct me if I'm wrong, is this WoW patch 77 days. Have I talked about that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe I'll let you know once you start talking about it.
So what's been happening is this person on, I guess, Reddit. I originally saw it on Taliesin and Evitel's YouTube channel, which they do WoW videos from the UK. But they apparently got it from this Reddit person who is called Das Momo, and they may have mentioned his name in their video. I honestly don't know. But anyway, there have between patches, patch 7.1 and 7.15, there were 77 days. Between
yes, you did talk about this.
Did I talk about this?
Yes, you did. I'll. Hopefully, it wasn't part of the stuff that you cut out.
Well, just in case, I'll go over it again.
Okay.
It'll take like 2 minutes. So between 7.1 and 7.15, there are 77 days between patch release. 7.15 and 7.2, 77 days. 7.2 and 7.25 patch, 77 days. Shock and awe that the number 77 keeps popping up.
Right.
Part of that is potentially because it's divisible by 7, which I think makes it a prime number or something weird.
Yes.
I am bad at math. So that means that it always falls on a Tuesday, which is when Blizzard does their patch releases.
Makes sense.
So convenient. So this means that 7.3 should drop Argus's new thing, the new planet or whatever we're calling this. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've done anything storyline related in this game. Is August 29th. From the day that we were recording, August 3rd, that is what, 27 days, 26 days? 26
Yes.
days. So I have 26 days till something exciting happens. And then they're predicting that this Reddit user that on November 14th, 2017, shortly after BlizzCon, is where 8.0 is probably announced, giving us an expansion that has been generally announced on an odd number a year and released on the even number years, which is why I said I might have you
wait to get the game. Okay.
So it's entirely possible that if we follow this model and that 7.4 is our final patch, which we're thinking that 7.4 is going to be our last patch because, like, what else could come next? Based on what's in the PTR, like, we're going to, in the patch 7.4 or 7.4.5, fight the frickin' Titans.
Okay.
Which are, like, the big bad, like, amazing people of WoW. So, like, what possibly is going to come in the same patch after that?
I gotcha.
So we're kind of assuming 7.4 is the end. It may not be, but if it is, that means that the expansion would potentially be released January 30th of 2018. The next expansion.
Okay.
So it's an interesting theory. Basically, like, there's 77 days between each patch. So following that logic, by the end of August, we have patch 7.3, and then potentially another expansion at the beginning of January. This expansion has been out for a year, I think this month.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'll probably just end up waiting. We'll see what happens.
We'll know more when we hear the release,
right.
Or the information dropped at BlizzCon.
Right, so I'll just wait until then. And I mean, I can play the free trial or whatever for a while.
Yeah, that's 20. You can go to level 20 with that.
Which, does that take a while?
Not really.
Oh.
But you can play around with different classes and see which one you really like.
Right, I can
That's what I would
learn the game a little bit.
A little bit. You may not learn too much because you're going to be like, if you stick with a panda, you're always going to be in Pandaland. Pandaria. So,
I like the panda.
You'll learn a little bit. Like, you'd be able to, like, start tinkering around with different classes, though, and seeing how you feel about those.
Okay.
Because what would happen if you bought the expansion is you can use a free... Because when you buy the expansion, you get a boost.
Okay.
And it, like, jumps you to, in this case, it would probably be 110. And you would then level from 110 to whatever the new level cap is, all on new content.
Okay.
They don't make new players start from level 1.
Well, that's nice of them.
It is, but the downside is because you didn't play the tune from level 1 to 1 whatever.
You've missed a lot.
100 plus. No, it's not. You're not missing a lot storyline wise.
Right, you're just missing a lot
but
of
you're not because like there's
skill.
a ton missing. But yeah, you're missing the skill of learning the stuff, which is like the character. That's where I'm at with my paladin. Is I boosted her, and she was my first tune that I made for Legion, and yeah, I'm not very good at her because I don't have that experience. But I also don't have 13 years of playing WoW experience anyway, so I'm going to be behind some people anyway.
Right.
You just have to take it with a grain of salt. The other news that I have is about Fortnite again.
Oh.
Just kind of checking in with people on Reddit and seeing what people are feeling about the game. Apparently, it's sold 500,000 copies, which keep in mind these are beta copies.
Right.
Beta. In the first day of its release, including pre-orders.
Wow. That's actually kind of crazy.
I think that's a good amount.
I would say so. And
I found
yeah.
Yeah, I think 500k is really good. I found this Reddit user named Damien. I don't know. It's Daymeuhn. Like,
okay.
I'm guessing it's Damien. He reportedly spent $1,500. That's 1,500 doll hairs on the loot boxes in the game.
Oh my
and
God.
didn't get a mythic quality hero. And this is why this does not work for microtransactions, man.
Right.
$1,500
That's ridiculous.
because you're trying to get something that's going to make the game better, easier, like get better quality stuff out of it. It was something like 100 boxes or something like that. And this, okay, like the whole thing.
I don't.
So he eventually does unlock Swordmaster Ken, who happens to be a mythic hero. But it wasn't a mythic hero he was after, and I think this article that I read was kind of confusing. So it says he spent $1,500, but that $1,500 isn't all on loot boxes. He spent about $1,000 just on loot boxes, and then if you look at all the other like individual stuff he bought, and then a couple extra loot boxes to where he actually got the legendary or epic or whatever it's called, hero guy. It totaled $1,500.
Gotcha.
So he's bought other stuff.
Well, I mean, that's the same with Call of Duty. Like, when the microtransactions first started really coming into Call of Duty, YouTubers and stuff were spending thousands of dollars to try to get, like, the best guns that you could only get from supply drops, and they were still not getting them.
Yeah, it's RNGesus.
It's crazy.
Random number. Because, like, it's RNG. We call it RNGesus.
Right.
Say your prayer to the RNGesus before you click the loot button or whatever.
Right.
So, like, that sucks. And this is where I put my note to talk about the WoW 77-day thing. So that's why I didn't know where it was.
Gotcha.
Because that's a really good spot for it, right?
Yeah, right.
And then I did some more digging, just kind of like, again, trying to get a feel, because like this is a game that I think sounds so interesting, but I'm ticked off about the microtransactions.
Yeah, that's
so like I can't bite the bullet.
Yep.
But then I found this open letter to the Fortnite developers by Bajug Adustin. I don't know. It's BAJUGA Dusting. So that's my guess at his name. Bajug Adustin.
Okay.
This guy and I'm always going to assume that the people on Reddit are dudes for whatever reason. It's just something I always do.
Yeah, I do too.
User has put in about 8 days worth of time. Obviously not 24 hours. He hasn't been like glued like Star or what is it called? South Park style.
Right.
But he does say he did spend the better part of those 8 days, and he's just now starting to feel bored. Part of that has to do with the loot. He loves loot-based games and the replayability of those style games, and he currently feels that Fortnite is not very replayable in its current state, partly due to the loot distribution. It's not that he's necessarily against microtransactions, and he actually does seem pretty firm that he's not against microtransactions since he's implementing them into his own game development.
Okay.
So I thought that was a good point. He has more issues with the loot distribution, as in loot versus effort ratio. In the world, you wander through buildings and go through rooms, etc., like you're scavenging to find loot, and so you really want to explore the area. But the only loot that you're going to find in these areas are materials, which is great, but you are typically getting like normal materials. You may occasionally get a rare material. That's also kind of okay. If you do get really lucky, or in the off chance you will get an orange flash upon your screen that you found a legendary weapon.
Woo!
Or a good weapon or whatever. I don't really know what the orange flash means, but orange and WoW is legendary, so like that's what my mind instantly goes to.
Right.
So you get a weapon. I don't know like what kind exactly, but anyway, so you get a weapon. And you get all excited because you got a new weapon, right?
Of course.
It's broken and only has 15% durability left. Oh, it gets better. So, if you get lucky, that thing will pop up on your screen and you will get a new weapon. The highest weapon drop that Bajug Adustin has seemed to recall getting was a 40 legendary shotgun, and it had 15% durability left. It always has some tiny amount of durability left, and it wasn't better than his 57 epic weapon that he currently had equipped, and that 15% durability legendary thingy only lasted him about half a level. It also appears that you can't repair the weapon. So once the weapon breaks, or potentially only the legendaries, again, I'm not really sure because I haven't played the game, you can't make that item again because you don't have a schematic for it.
Right.
And there again doesn't seem to be that repair option.
Hmm.
So you got a junk gun or weapon, because there's swords in this game, and you can't apparently repair the item, and you can only use it for a limited amount of time. So like you just don't feel like you're getting you're just getting materials, and sometimes you're not after materials, like you need other stuff to progress in the game. The end of mission loot's nothing special. You don't feel very rewarded. The level 6 chest is very similar to the drops of a level 1. I don't know what the differential there and like how hard it is or whatever, because I'm missing part of the information of not playing.
Right.
But his suggestions, and this is what I really liked. He wrote this letter, he had a lot of complaints, but he ends it with suggestions. Are for schematics to drop more frequently so that you're able to make more things like the craftable items, including weapons, and from more loot options. That weapon drop should be full durability or at least be able to be repaired, one or the other, or even the combination of both. He sums it up really nicely by saying, in the short term, I feel like your pay system is going to make you money.
Right.
But if you want to make this game a platform, your words, then you are going to need to do something that ensures the longevity of player interest.
Mm-hmm.
The longer we play, the more money you make, so you can continue to make a decent amount from microtransactions now, and the majority of your player base will get bored. The paywall is already one of the biggest complaints players have, which we talked about last
Right.
week. Or you can accept the prospect of making roughly the same amount of money for 3 to 5 times longer by keeping the players feeling rewarded and playing the game longer. Because once the streamers and the YouTubers start talking about the game being a material farming simulator, then those words will resonate with others, and
Yep.
they too will feel the boredom set in. And this game will be dead before its official release even happens.
Yep.
And it just kind of comes back to that. It really does seem like this game has an amazing amount of potential. They just need to find out how to properly do a microtransaction so that it doesn't kill the game.
Right. No, I agree. And
maybe
like the drops, not drops,
yeah,
but
and
yeah,
I think
drops,
that's really
I guess.
important, because if I need to get a upgraded weapon, I want to be able to get an upgraded weapon.
See, they need to take some notes from 7 Days to Die, because it sounds like, from what I watched, it's a similar.
It's just a cutesy version.
Yeah, it's a similar idea. I mean, 7 Days to Die is way more in depth when it comes to like what you have to do to get your materials and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like to get your guns and stuff, you can go to the bookstore and loot the bookstore and find schematics, or like read books that will teach you how to build certain weapons, and then all you have to do is just find parts, or you can buy parts from the trader sometimes.
I'm not sure how they get schematics in this game. Like
Probably similar.
It sounds like they drop, but it sounds like they don't drop often, so I don't know if there's another way to get them besides dropping them.
I mean, you have to search for them in 7 Days to Die, because the map is in the random gen. It's like 10,000 by 10,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge.
Well, they're searching for these drops. Like, they're going
Right.
into buildings and like stuff and looking for these chesty type things.
Okay.
And that's what the drops are.
Yeah, that's
Or
what's
they're inside
the same concept, but you're looting like desks and stuff like that, like tearing apart the building.
Okay.
But yeah, I think they need
feel
to
like
take
that would
a little
be more immersive.
Yes, and that's why the like 7 Days to Die, it's the replayability of that is like, I don't know, you can play it for hours, not get bored, because if you get bored looting, you can just go back to your base and start building, or if you don't want to build, you can go and scavenge for materials, or go chop down trees to get more wood, or go mining. So there's always something new to do. Or if you just don't like what you did, just start a new game, and it's a whole new world.
I really wish it was less scary looking, and then I would consider playing
it. That's great. I love it. Yep.
This is really random.
Okay.
So as of yesterday, Venezuela's currency, the bolivar, is now worth less than the gold in Azeroth.
Huh.
At least on the black market. The exchange rate on the black market is 8,493.97. So really 8,494 bolivar per $1 US.
Wow.
a WoW token is worth 4 to 8 gold per US dollar. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
I may have written one of those numbers wrong, which is super awesome. But,
oh well.
because that, yeah. And it also, like, I'm really confused by the WoW token price. Philip DeFranco talked about this on his show, and then in my email, I got an email about it too. I just think it's really funny. But it's really not. What the situation going on in Venezuela is actually really bad. Basically, their leader is corrupt and corrupting the nation.
Gotcha.
To the point where he had an election to elect basically, like, his own congressy kind of thing. I'm trying to, like, keep this in really simple terms. And, so the people got to go vote and everything, but only the people he wanted won, and the voting systems that they use are even saying that, like, it was a rigged election because what their data is saying doesn't match what the media release. People are dying because they're protesting. They're trying to, like, be like, no, this is not what we want. This is not good, etc., etc., and they're being killed in the streets.
Gotcha.
Like, what's going on in Venezuela, it's actually something that our media has not been talking about. That's been going on for close to a year. They have a little bit of a revolution going on, and I haven't heard about it in the news.
Yeah, me either.
What makes the news? Like, what? This part. That their currency is now worth less than fake money in Azeroth. Like, that's
crazy.
not
yeah,
okay. That's for many people going to be the first time they even hear about the revolution
right.
going on in
Venezuela. And it's kind of like poking fun at them.
It is, but it's not. It's just like, I think it's more, it's like so asinine that a game with infinite amount of gold money that can infinitely be generated,
right,
has a stronger worth than a physical country where people are actually reliant on that money.
That's crazy.
Like, it is a good way to, like, spur the attention towards the revolution of Venezuela, but it, like, kills me that, like, this is the stuff that the media doesn't talk about, but they will talk about, like, Donald Trump posted this tweet when, like, really,
oh my gosh,
matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, can we,
like, it's
like, speaking of the news, I don't know if you've been following that story of the two teenagers, the girlfriend. It was a couple of years
the girl
ago.
That killed her boyfriend.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, did you read those texts? They were really bad. Like, She
basically Jeffrey Dahmered him.
Yeah, and
I think that was his name.
Well, okay, so she was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. And
15 months.
No, today was it gets worse than that. I watched the actual sentencing today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I watched it. It was live streamed on Facebook, and I was watching it because I was just like, I mean, we've talked about this whole suicide thing. It's,
yeah.
But anyway, so I was watching the sentencing, and the boy that killed himself, his family's attorney wanted no less than 7 years, no more than 12 years. And the parents of the kid even wanted her to basically, get help. Because clearly she's not right. So their attorney was like, we want no less than 7 years, no more than 12. And the judge came back and said 2.5 years, but after 15 months she can get out, and then 5 years of probation. Well, her attorney stands up, and basically he files a motion for a stay, which I didn't know what that was. I don't know, like, all this crap, but... And basically what that is they want to take the case to the appeals court and appeal the sentencing, and during that time, she doesn't have to go to jail.
Yeah, that's somewhat normal.
The judge granted the stay, so she does not have to go to jail, and she probably will never spend any time in jail.
It'll continue to move up through the court circuit. Part of the reason... Because her lawyer might actually be doing this not in quote-unquote her best interest. There are no technical laws that are specific to this kind of case.
Right, and that's what the parents of the boy that killed himself, they want this to bring some sort of law into effect, basically.
The best way to do that is to keep moving it up through the court circuit.
Yeah, right.
So the higher up it goes, the could be better. Because we do need some laws that This whole technology thing has like changed so much.
It has.
So she should. She's either going to end up in a psych ward, jail, and of course potentially never seen jail.
Right.
Because they could always do like her court time as her time.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna. I don't think she's ever gonna see jail.
Serial killer that this is how he killed people.
Yeah.
He never physically
exactly
killed anybody. I don't remember who it was.
It was no, it was Charles Manson.
Was it Charles Manson?
Yep. He's still in prison though. He's serving a life sentence.
He serial killed people. He killed lots of people.
But he never actually killed anybody. He just coerced people into doing it for him.
Coerced people.
Yep.
And that's what she did.
Those text messages were.
They're disgusting.
I did not like. I read them and I was just like, oh my god, I can't read this.
To me, the worst part is she sat on the phone with him while he was like suffocating.
Yeah, she needs help herself, to be honest.
Like, that's kind of like a really sore spot for me. Not like
right.
it is, but it isn't. Like this specific thing. Suicide always is, but
yes.
Like, I don't know if I misheard what somebody said, but I was speaking to somebody that was close with my brother who said that I believe she said. I'm hoping I misheard her. I am saying that I misheard her, but it's possible I didn't. I just don't want this to be true if it is.
Mm-hmm.
Along the lines of she knew that my brother was going to commit suicide and that she knew. And like, if you know that, you're supposed to do something.
Yes.
Call the cops. Yeah.
They'll do a wellness check. Like, they will go and physically check on the person and make sure that they're...
She lived in proximity of him.
Yeah.
Like, I was in a different state, so like I didn't know anyway. But like I didn't have that option. If I would have had to call the cops. But anyway, she was close in proximity. She could have actually gone and been with him until the cops got there. You can institutionalize somebody against their will for 24 to 48 or 72 hours. It's a very small range of time.
Right.
If they are a danger to themselves or others.
Mm-hmm.
He could have gotten help if what I think she said is accurate, that she knew that it was going to happen. She could have done something.
Yeah.
And she chose not to. But I don't know if that's actually accurate. We were doing the suicide memorial walk, and we were just talking and about that day and the weeks leading up to it, and how he reached out to people to like actually really classic signs of like making amends and giving some people some stuff and kind of making plans with people he hadn't spoken to in years and that kind of stuff. And she was one of those people. And just talking to her, and she knew that, yeah, like, I'm pretty sure she said that, but I'm pretending that she didn't, kind of thing. Because, like, you never want that to be accurate, that somebody didn't do something, that you lost someone that you love because it's your brother.
Right.
Because somebody didn't do something.
Yeah.
Something so simple that could have saved a life.
Yeah, I mean, you always, like, after the fact, you always think of, like, there's
also that side of it.
Like, could I have just, called to check in and, Well,
I didn't talk to him. I don't talk to my siblings much.
Right.
I didn't grow up with them.
Right.
So, like, I've always felt really weird about it. Like,
not even that, like, not even, like, personally, but why didn't, why
didn't I call?
Well, here's my thing, like, with this whole Chester thing, it's been, like, messing with my mind. I'm just like, why? First of all, like, it was the day of one of his really good friends' birthday. It was his birthday.
Oh, it was his birthday? I thought it was the anniversary.
No, it was Chris Cornell. He was another lead singer for another band, and he committed suicide in May. It may have been May or March, I can't remember. But and they were like really, really, really close, and it hit Chester super, super hard. And then when Chester committed suicide, it was on Chris Cornell's birthday, and I'm just like, everybody knew how like hard it hit him, and I'm just like, you think about these things after the fact, like, oh, why didn't anybody let him just be alone that day? Like, why were you alone?
Yeah.
But
he may not, like, it could have, like, I don't know. That's always rough. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can think about those things all day long, and it'll just drive you crazy. But
his wife may have wanted to give him space.
Well, here's the thing.
It was a hard day.
He was actually supposed to do a photo shoot that day with the band, and he had just left his family. They were on vacation, and his family was staying for a couple more days on vacation. and he came back to LA to go do the photo shoot. He was supposed to have that photo shoot that day. So, yeah, it's rough. But, I mean, since we're talking about this, you know, you were just kind of talking about the walk that you did. And last week we talked about, you had told me about the Out of the Darkness walks.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually decided to register for the Columbus one.
Yay.
It's on Saturday, September 24th.
Ours is similar in Ala Moana.
Ooh, that sounds pretty. It's going to be, it'll be kind of chilly here.
It's by Waikiki.
Gotcha. But a little bit more information. I think you might have said this last week, but these walks are put on by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And I looked up a little information after the fact, just because we kind of just talked about it quickly. And apparently they fund research aimed at improving our understanding of suicide and ways to prevent it, as well as educational programs to increase awareness about prevention, warning signs, and the psychiatric illnesses that can lead to suicide. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I really like this group, I guess. They're not a company, but they're not for profit or whatever. This organization. I don't know, there's just something comforting about it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just like them.
Yeah, they seem really awesome. So like I said, I'm doing the walk on September 24th, and I've been I'm raising money, because basically you just raise money for, like, on basically, what am I trying to even say? You're raising money for the foundation, and then you do the walk just kind of as, like, the awareness thing. But
they do more than the walk. At least they did when I did it in Texas.
Do they?
They had there was a stage area, and if you had lost somebody, you could fill out this. They weren't crosses, which I really appreciate that.
That's good.
They were like flowers, and you got to decorate the, like, wood flower, whatever material it was, and put their name. And then, like, some people made shirts, like whole families or communities walking with in memory of their people.
Well, that's what I kind of plan on doing. I think I want to make a shirt for it, and put, like, the names. I've been gathering some names, just basically people that I'll be walking for, and I think I'm gonna do, like, a little shout out section for.
Mine's next month on the 9th.
Nice. I think I'm gonna do a little shout out section for my donators also, because people have been super generous. It's crazy. Like, these people, most of the people that have donated so far for me, they're people I don't even, like, actually know.
Yeah, that's been surprising to me, but, like, heart-filling.
It's, okay, so after Chester passed away, there was just, like, a whole outreach in the whole, like, on Twitter, basically, of just Linkin Park, like, supporters everywhere. And one of the big Linkin Park, Twitter accounts, I think it was the LP Association, which I talked about earlier, they, decided to make a Discord, and it might have been, no, it was LP Live. LP Live was the ones who did it, but they made a Discord and basically tweeted out the link and said, anybody that wants to talk or just needs, somebody to talk to, hop in this Discord. And we've been talking in that Discord for almost 2 weeks now, and just especially a bunch of us, we've just kind of gotten really close, and there's just a lot of support, and a lot of those people that I know on there have actually been the ones to donate to me for this. It's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's great. The community that's showing in that group you're in is awesome.
Yeah, they're really, really good people, and there's just, I don't know, sometimes you just, people that you can meet people anywhere, I guess, but it's crazy how many different, like, people we're talking to in there. Like, I've got people from Germany, just people all over the world. It's crazy. But
I think it's awesome. Like, the stuff that you talked about.
It's amazing. I love it. Every day I hop in there and we chat for a while, but I'm a little over halfway to my goal now. I actually had to up my goal because people have been so generous. So that's cool.
Nice.
But anyways,
yeah, I think that's also awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting.
All right, so what's your news? Because I know you got quite a bit.
I don't really have a whole lot. It's just some 7 Days to Die, and a little Call of Duty news. I'm going to start with 7 Days to Die here. Alpha 16.2 Experimental B7 came out. I know that's a mouthful. Basically what that means is, as I said last week, Alpha 16 is the latest, like, alpha release, but they've also, so you can still play on that if you want, if you don't want to start over, if you don't want to play an experimental, you're not forced to with them. Okay. But if you want to try out all the new things, you can put your game into experimental mode, and with that you'll be playing 16.2 Experimental B7. The only downside to that is anytime they push a like hotfix or something through, your server's going to get restarted. But that's, you know, you're an experimental, so you go into that knowing that that's going to happen. So I'm going to just go over the patch notes a little bit here. I just kind of picked some of the bigger highlights. I did pull the link, so I'll put that in the description. They've added recipes for oil and paper, which that is huge, because before you could only scavenge that stuff. You'd have to find oil and paper out in the world. Well, now you can go to your little crafting thing and actually craft oil and paper. That's important because oil is actually used for weapon repair kits and for Molotov cocktails. Not everybody uses the Molotov cocktails, but if you're into that kind of stuff, oil is a necessity. But the weapon repair kits, that's huge, to be able to make your own oil. And paper is used for the blunderbuss ammo, shotgun shells, sticks of dynamite, and TNT. So you do use a lot of paper. That was like the only thing for the added stuff that stuck out to me. They did change a few things. Players, if a player has a land claim block down, basically a land claim block it covers, I don't know the exact radius, but it covers a radius, and that area is basically their area of the world. Nobody else can really mess with that area. Well, they've changed it, and now other players can't even pick blocks up in that player land claim block area. Which, this is a good thing if you're on like a public server. It keeps people from destroying your base. But a lot of people will play on servers, and it's kind of like a teamwork aspect. So if you're doing that, you can't really work together to build a base if you have the land claim block down. Now, you know, people might say, well, just don't put a land claim block down, but the importance of the land claim block is if you have one down, you can pick up your workbenches and you can pick up your forges. If you don't have one down, you can't pick that stuff up. Oh. Yeah. So what they really need to do with that is basically add, this is my suggestion, add like a feature where you can give individual players permission to, you know, use or build or destroy stuff in your land claim block area. That way you can pick and choose who you want to be able to do that kind of stuff. And then the people who you don't want to do that stuff with, they can't touch it. That's my little suggestion for them. Hopefully.
I like how that sounds. I think that sounds...
Yeah, it sounds fair. It's probably not a hard thing to add. Basically, it's kind of like a friends list type thing. You know, you'll just click a button, basically, and, hey, this person has permission. But who knows? Molotov cocktails, they actually do less damage to players now, which is good because the blast radius was always kind of sporadic. And players tended to take a lot of damage if they're used, especially during Horde Night. You'd get like that one player that would throw a Molotov cocktail and either completely miss, or sometimes it would glitch, and instead of throwing it, it would drop it at your feet. Yeah, so taking less damage is good. You're not going to die right away.
Yeah.
There's now a higher chance of quests and treasure map drops, which is awesome, because those are fun. This is awesome as long as your treasure chests don't glitch out anymore. There's been like an issue where the treasure chest it'll say it's in this area, and you'll just dig for it, and it'll never appear. So this, yeah, which, I mean, like I said, this is an alpha game, so...
Yeah, that stuff gets sorted, though.
Yeah, it'll get sorted eventually, that's what I keep saying. The auto turrets have increased damage. They have increased the low-end damage for the Iron Fire Axe. let's see, basic wood building blocks now use less resources, which is awesome. You don't have to like constantly go out and chop down trees. And they've increased the shotgun damage mainly for the lower quality shotguns, which is good. They've fixed a few things here. Offline players will now have a bedroll icon if someone picks up their bedroll. That would happen sometimes, like you would go offline if you're playing on a server, and then somebody would have to move your bedroll, and then you would spawn in, and you wouldn't have a bedroll down to spawn in on. And that would create problems because you would spawn out in, like, the middle of the world.
Oh.
Yeah, so now, if...
Wait, so the bedroll, like, you have to have that to spawn in, but somebody else can pick up your bedroll?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to have it to spawn in, but that's basically how you pick where you want to spawn in on the world. So, now if somebody picks that bedroll up, it's still going to leave, like, a marker down that your bedroll was there. So that's good. Electrical traps have been moved to the traps crafting tab, which is, it makes sense. Traps to be in the traps area. Traders. It looks like I didn't really understand this part, so if anybody has any more insight on this, please let me know. But it said that traders do not carry compound bows and parts anymore, so I'm assuming they're not going to be selling them anymore, which sucks. So, like I said, if anybody has any insight on that, let me know. They have, I think I told you about this, about the RAM usage of the game.
Yeah, it was like really, really high.
They've started to fix it. It looks like they've decreased the RAM usage a little bit. So they are working on that still. The description for when you have dysentery, it now says that it is lethal. Before, it didn't tell you that it was lethal, so you would just have dysentery and then eventually you would die, and people would be like, huh?
But dysentery tends to be deadly.
Right.
If you don't have medication.
Exactly. And they've also, this is awesome, they fixed the glitch where if you would shoot a vulture when it was like kind of high up in the sky, it used to fall to the ground and glitch through the world, and you wouldn't be able to get your feathers from it. So they fixed that, which is awesome, because feathers are important especially for making arrows for your bow and arrow. There are some known issues that they're going to be working on here, and they've addressed these a little bit. They do know that smell isn't working when you're like kind of being stealthy, and they did say that they're going to revisit that in Alpha 17, which that's also good news, I guess, because from the sounds of it, they're ready.
They have it on a track.
Yeah, they're like ready for 17 already. They do know that there's been too many airdrop crates spawning into the world at one time, and that the crates are spawning underground. The wet concrete is not drying, which is weird. They're gonna be fixing the sleeper spawning issues. Basically, the sleeper zombies, they just continuously spawn in the same spot. Like, you'll go into a building, kill the zombie, turn around and go to like another room. If you come back to that room, the zombie's gonna be spawning there again. It's crazy. That's pretty much all the important stuff. The rest of it's kind of not really important. Like I said, I'm gonna put the link to the official forum in the description. That way, if anybody wants to read it all, they can. The only other big news I've got here is about Call of Duty World War II, which is going to be the latest installment of Call of Duty that comes out in November, November 3rd to be exact. Michael Condrey, I know, I'm so excited. Michael Condrey, who is like the head guy at Sledgehammer Games, he put out a series of tweets and has confirmed the following. The game is going to have an emblem creator, which it's not like a huge necessity, but people love it. I like creating my own emblems to show off in the little calling cards and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So those will be fun.
I know what those are.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Let's see, there's going to be a gun that was in past Call of Duties. It's going to be returning. It started in COD 2, and it's a run and gun style weapon. It's called the PPSH-41. And the PP. But he has confirmed that that's going to be in the game. Not sure like what it's going to look like or anything like that. But I think I just said like 6 times in a sentence, by the way.
I say a lot.
Yeah,
so I feel ya.
whatever. Doesn't look like steady aim is going to be a perk in this game, which it's not a horrible thing, but it is bad for the people with bad aim. So, but he did say that he said what, somebody said something about they're going to run around with a PPSH 41 with steady aim, and he tweeted them back and said, what is steady aim? So, chances are it's not going to be in the game. They've also shown a screenshot of the main screen for when you go into the game that shows the different game modes. Of course, there's multiplayer and there's also private match, but there was also ranked mode, which people are super excited about because Black Ops 2 had the best ranked play system in any Call of Duty. It was called League Play, and it was really competitive, and people loved it, but none of the ranked play has been the same since then. So we're hoping that that's going to be kind of Black Ops 2 style ranked play. And there's also another thing on that same page that says daily mode, and we don't have any more details about that, so all we can do is speculate, but it seems like there's going to be a new, or not, I don't know if it's necessarily a new game mode, but some sort of special game mode every single day. So that could be fun.
Yeah, something new every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I really have about Call of Duty World War II is that they've talked a little bit more about the zombies mode. Treyarch really made zombies what it is in the Black Ops games and stuff like that. Actually, I think World at War was the first one that had zombies. And all of the other developers have kind of followed them and made their own zombie modes. Well, this is going to be, since this is World War II, this is going to be Nazi zombies.
Oh my.
And they are claiming that it's going to be the scariest zombies game mode ever for a Call of Duty game. So, I'm really excited for that because I'm not a hardcore zombie mode player, but I do enjoy playing it every once in a while when I get bored with multiplayer. So, I'm excited to check that out. That's pretty much it for my news, but as you said with your one little game, I do have a few things that I'm looking forward to, even though most of these are already games that are out, or are games that are already out. Words are hard.
Yes, they are.
Again, I talked about this last week, but I have more accurate information this week. My information was a little off last week, and I looked that up.
What happened to your redacting or whatever it's called?
Yeah. So, I'm excited for Madden 18. Comes out on August 25th. And I was talking about the new story mode last week. And I was my information was a little wrong. So I went to their webpage and looked this up. The story mode is called Long Shot. And you're playing as a player named Devin Wade. He's an NFL prospect who was a former 5-star quarterback who has been away from the game for 3 years. I don't know why. Obviously, you'll probably get into that in the game. It doesn't say why he's been away from the game. But basically, you're going to go on the road to the draft with this player and off the field, little things, and in Madden's first ever story mode. So it sounds pretty fun. It's just a new little thing that they're throwing into the game, trying to keep it fresh.
Sounds really cool. I think it's different.
I'm excited. I'm definitely going to pick up this game. Like I said, I haven't played Madden in a while, so with this new game mode, I think I'm going to pick this one up. Let's see. I'm also excited to get this PC because there's some PC games that are already out that I really want to try. The first one being PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or as most people know it, PUBG. And
Hi, Jolly.
I've been watching a ton of people play this game and it just looks super fun. If you know what H1Z1 is.
I do.
Okay, it's very similar. It's pretty much the exact same concept. You're in this big open world with 100 people thrown into it, and you're basically trying to survive. And then try to be the last man standing, or last team standing. But, I took the little thing off of Steam here. It's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is a last man standing shooter being developed with community feedback. Players must fight to locate weapons and supplies in a massive 8x8 kilometer island to be the lone survival. This is Battle Royale. It's $29.99 right now, and it looks amazing, and it's actually still early access, so they're constantly fixing it and updating it. So I think I want to pick that one up when I get my PC. I also really, really want to play Dead by Daylight.
You really like this style game.
Well, see, I didn't think I would ever like that kind of style game, but I've been watching another Twitch streamer. His name is Admiral Baru. He's an awesome.
I don't know why I think that's really funny.
You should watch him because
I'm tired.
Yeah, you should watch him. He's like a great streamer. But the game looks fun. I've been watching him. He plays it a lot, and he's like the best I've ever seen at this game. He's just a freak of nature. But Dead by Daylight is a multiplayer 4 versus 1 horror game where one player takes on the role of the savage killer, and the other 4 players play as survivors trying to escape the killer and avoid being caught and killed. The game's only $19.99, and there's various add-ons available for it, which are usually like new killers. Like a few months ago, they released Michael Myers from the Halloween series.
Oh.
And
random, but okay.
It adds on, or the add-ons range anywhere from being free to costing up to $6.99. So that's pretty cool. And I think the most recent killer that they've released is actually a free one that you can get. So you don't have to necessarily pay for them. Let's see. Where was I here? Oh, so I can't decide if I want to get PUBG or if I want to get H1Z1. Like I said, they're pretty similar. And H1Z1 is only $19.99, so it's $10 cheaper. But H1Z1, King of the Kill, is a fast-paced shooter in which players compete in a large-scale, chaotic PvP spectacles of skill, wit, and a little luck, where everyone must fight to the death to stand alone at the top of the podium. So, sounds like it's the same as PUBG, just it's $10 cheaper. So, I'm not sure which one I'm going to get.
You have to... Are they like... I don't know, that's hard.
Yeah, so I'll probably do a little bit more research on it. That's pretty much it for the ones I want to play, the upcoming stuff, and the stuff that I'm ready to play once I get this PC. I do have a couple little tidbits to add into this. I feel like I'm being long-winded, but these are just a couple things I found interesting. This one is about that PUBG game. It's now sold over 6 million copies in just 4 months, making over $150 million.
Nice.
It's still an early access game. You have to keep that in mind.
Oh, yeah, that's
crazy.
How long has it been early access?
4 months.
Oh yeah, you just said that.
And
I told you.
Like I said, the price is $29.99. Also, I'm excited for this because I missed out. If you remember, the Nintendo Classic came out last year.
Yeah. I
missed out on that.
I didn't get it either.
Yeah,
so.
I really wanted one, but I missed out on it. But they've announced that the Super Nintendo Classic is coming out. It was announced last month, and it comes out on September 29th. And Nintendo has announced that pre-orders are going to start later this month at various retailers. They haven't really gotten into depth with that yet. But anyways, that's all the news and stuff I have today.
Okay. So, as always, we'd like to know how you feel about these topics. Just leave us a comment down below, email us, or hit us up on one of our social media accounts. And, like I said, just chime in on that conversation. All links, of course, are provided in the show notes below because, again, it's just easy access. Everybody loves easy access.
Yes, we do. So we are aware that this next segment may take a little time to get going.
And we're normally going to ask a question, but we're not going to tonight because I have to be up in very soon.
Okay, we'll save my question for next week. But like I said, we're aware that this community segment might take a little time to get going. And like Nichelle just said, next week we will start asking a question. I'm not going to talk about the question until next week.
You spelled my name wrong.
I did. I'm sorry. I'm a bad friend. So look out for the question next week. Maybe I will. I'm gonna try to start tweeting. Maybe people will actually start tweeting us back, and I can get some So yeah, like we just said, we're gonna start asking questions. Hopefully, we can get a little bit of feedback. And in the future, we'd love to hear from our listeners. So please let us know if you have just basically any feedback, or if you have any questions, comments, sorry, so that we can talk about it on the next show. We will, get to everybody, unless, like, all of a sudden 10,000 of you decide to ask us a question. Then it might be a little hard, but we'll try to get to as many people as we can. I don't know if we'll have too many problems with that right away, but maybe eventually. We can only hope. But like Michelle said, to get in touch with us, just send us, an email or do the whole social media thing. Or you can leave a comment below. That's also very easy since you're already on YouTube. And all of our links are going to be in the description, of course.
Thank you for listening to the Gamer's Guide to the Universe. Be sure to visit our YouTube comment section to join the conversation. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever, and, just chat with us. We like to hear from you guys.
Yes.
As always, as Loren just said, the information's in the show notes down below. Just click the show more and scroll through. We will try to make less of a habit of talking about suicide in every episode, but it is a thing that is very relevant to our lives.
Yes.
That we have experienced, mental health, all that kind of stuff. So we'll try not to talk about it every episode.
Right.
But it will come up occasionally for sure. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know. If you didn't, let us know. Just don't write, "Oh, you guys suck. I hate you."
If you want to write that, whatever.
Well, you can, but that's not going to help us.
Yeah,
get
we
better,
would like
so
constructive criticism, please.
Yes, that's what I mean. You can tell us to go screw ourselves. That's
Whatever.
Totally okay too. But we would prefer constructive criticism because that means we can improve, and then maybe you'll like us.
Yes, because that's all we want. Right. We just want to be liked.
So I just want to remind you guys, if you enjoyed the show, remember to click the thumbs up and share button and subscribe so that you never miss an episode.